Speeding is a serious problem. In fact, it has become endemic and is now too big for the police to tackle it alone. No police force can be everywhere 24/7, catching speeding drivers. And even if they could, most police forces consider punishment not to be the best method to make people aware of the dangers of speeding. Intelligent education is more efficient. As a scheme, Speedwatch has been available, on and off, to concerned communities for almost 20 years. Its popularity stems from the obvious good idea of engaging volunteers with road safety. Empowering people to proactively address the cause of their worries is an ideal solution to make inattentive or habitual speeders change their behavior. Or, so it seems. The problem with Speedwatch is that it is disjointed, interpreted differently, not efficiently managed, or not prioritized highly enough in many places. The concept is simple. Train volunteers in the use of sufficiently accurate radar speed detection devices. Based on their observations, the police write a letter to the registered keeper of the recorded speeding vehicle, asking them to slow down. What can possibly go wrong in that scenario? The answer is obviously everything. And if it can, it will. And it has. Many times.
Schemes have come and gone, embraced enthusiastically, and then fallen by the wayside, since it was first invented around the turn of the millennium. Abandoned by communities and volunteers, because there was no proper organization to pick up the group's data from the roadside. There was no system in place to join the dots, and hence making a serious impact on stopping the speeders from reoffending. The conundrum is, where does Speedwatch sit? Is it education, or is it enforcement? The answer is both. In the hands of the communities, it's education. But when the educational approach doesn't work on the small group of habitual, and quite frankly, antisocial drivers, the collated data collected from all the groups and police forces then become a powerful tool to focus and target enforcement on those who refuse to learn from a good advice, or 2, or 5.
If volunteers don't get instant feedback on their invested efforts, they will find some more productive things to do. If their time spent at the roadside doesn't make a measurable impact on reducing the problem, they give up quickly. Operators want to feel appreciated, supported, and properly supervised. Much too often they are being vilified and ridiculed by ignorant drivers. And even if the well-meaning and supportive local police try their utmost to give maximum attention to the volunteers' activities, Speedwatch will never be at the top of the policing agenda. Therefore, a permanent, sustainable solution to that conundrum had to be found.
So, Speedwatch, is it any good? Let's look at some stats. Almost 1,800 people were killed on the UK roads last year. Every week a child is killed on their way to, or from school. Mostly inside the car driving them. But in general, vulnerable road users, those walking, cycling, or driving on motorbikes, are the biggest group of people dying on our roads. When a vehicle hits a pedestrian at 30 miles per hour, there is 80% chance of survival. But if the same vehicle hits the pedestrian at 35 miles per hour, the chance of survival is reduced to 50%. At 40 miles per hour, there is a 90% chance they will be killed. Every fatality on the UK roads costs the British state on average £2 million from impact to closing of the inquest.
Put tape around their mouth, so it's not making any noise. Praise you forever in the joy of heaven. We ask.
I would like to take this opportunity to express the court's sympathy.
So, apart from all the grief, devastation, anguish, and personal tragedy, the total annual economic consequences to the British taxpayers, as a result of the collision aftermath, equates to around £3.6 billion per year.
And then we haven't even mentioned the wide-ranging knock-on effect from both the fatal and the more than 25,000 seriously injured victims every year.
To organise what we realistically think could reach 75,000 accredited Speedwatch volunteers nationwide, and to send 1.5 million educational letters to speeding drivers would cost the national organisation £4 million per year, the same as the cost of 2 fatalities. There are 5 fatalities on the UK roads every day.
CSW Online and the idea of a national speed watch organisation grew out of necessity, and today we have progressed so far in our ambition to find an ideal and workable answer to the many problems we encountered along the way. Our model is simple. If all local schemes work to the same standards, rules, methodologies and outcomes, and if the recorded data is shared nationwide in a commonly accepted format, reoffending drivers will quickly learn that, no matter where they have been recorded, their offences are stacked up against them. There is nowhere to hide, and their speeding habit is widely circulated.
Around 90% of drivers are not observed speeding again within the next 12 months after receiving the first letter from Speedwatch. We know this because 9 out of 10 drivers also live locally, and with the hundreds of joined-up groups and thousands of volunteers standing at the roadside on a regular basis, the chances of avoiding their unpredictable presence is negligible.
Many people have ideas and talk about doing something about speeding. Speedwatch volunteers don't talk, they do it. Their proactive roadside sessions have proven to produce results.
If less than 10% of drivers are not recorded speeding again after receiving the first warning letter, we believe that the experience of being taught and educated in a friendly manner has changed their behaviour and made them realise the impact it will have on their own lives if they cause a collision.
So, with fewer collisions happening and more people surviving, we could be en route to address the problem in a manner not very likely to succeed with many other schemes or methods anytime soon. Whether you are a community-minded citizen or a police officer interested in joining our work and support our efforts to organize and standardize Speedwatch, the decision to engage often starts with a dialogue involving your police and crime commissioner.
No enforcement, only education and a very clever organisational system joining up everything. Seeing the yellow jackets at the roadside and understanding that these people belong to the very community where people drive dangerously play a huge role in the educational process. We know it works. Speedwatch are lifesavers.